Hey everyone, Wanabot here, and welcome to Nova Drift, or welcome back to it if you caught my previous coverage. I'm kind of possessed with some extra free time, and building what I'm going to call kind of like a time-off backlog. Let's see. I should probably actually think about some of these things. What is my build? What have I not done in forever? Vortex blades. I like darts. I haven't done swords in a while. Pair of monomolecular double-edged swords, attack skills with rate of fire, both weapons, modifiers above 100%, increase attack speed. Damage increases as your speed does, and skills with 25% of crash damage modifiers. While attacking swords wielded by you destroy enemy projectiles, retaliate with spark projectiles. Let's do a sword build. I haven't done swords in forever, and I know they're kind of fun. They also scale off of like a ton of things, and so if I can do it right, they can really rip. Anyway, yeah, a time-off backlog is what I'm going to call it. Effectively, oh gosh, I might actually just die here. We'll see what happens. Let's see, do I want to go Siphon? I like Siphon. Yep, I'm dead. Haha, it's going to take a little bit getting used to these controls again. The problem with playing this game infrequently is it puts me in kind of a perpetual state of rust. Well, I haven't done Salvo in a while. Salvo is kind of tricky. I have not ever done a torrent build that I felt good about. So today's the day. Maybe I have done some good torrent runs in retrospect. But it's definitely one of the, like, odder weapons, all things considered. Now, let's just look at the stats for torrent. Close range, rapid fire. Projectiles travel in waves, degenerate over time, less thrust when firing, rate of fire. So it doesn't actually do fire damage or anything of the sort. I might as well go for stuff like orbital, probably. Orbital, siphon, anything that keeps me kind of close. So yeah, let's go for orbital. Yeah, so I couldn't remember if this is one of those weapons that would scale off of or do like extra fire damage. The answer is no. I have no idea what this would look like with Courser, and should I try it? Sure. Okay. So, this is kind of tricky for a lot of reasons. I don't know if Courser is really the right call on this one, but hey, what can we do? What does propulsive munitions do on this? Screw it. Okay. So this means that I'm constantly being pushed forward at least a little bit by my weapons. The Courser overrides, sort of. The main problem is, yeah, I'm constantly moving, so that makes this a little trickier. Because it's going to make it really hard to aim. Let's go for some max hull strength. Yeah, so I can kind of do weird drive-bys. The main issue mostly boils down to the fact that my range is abysmal. I can just kind of get in here and tickle things. And, like, admittedly tickling things to death is not the worst. Okay. I just have to be extremely careful because I'm going to get drubbed. Oh, good. Plate armor. We like that. Same thing with channeling. Because I'm fully expecting to take some damage here. Ow. I'm also expecting to have some serious trouble controlling myself. But I mean, it did a decent amount of damage. So I think I'm going to go for velocity. That just is going to give me some more generalized range. And I think we're going to want to increase the amount of projectiles I'm using. Even if technically it's going to mess with some stuff. Okay. We're definitely going to want durability. Yeah, I haven't played this since 1.0. I did a video and then was very busy and haven't been back for more. And that sucked a little bit because I adore this game. I think it's extremely cool and been wanting to put more time into it. Unfortunately, this is the curse of early access, I find. That there's so many games out there that I really enjoy playing, that I play a lot of them when they're still in early access, and then when they're actually done, I don't put any time in. Slay the Spire is probably a good example of this. I've still put a lot of time into the 1.0, but it pales in comparison to the amount of time that I put into, the early access version, both like as a player and as a creator. And there's a very real possibility I'm going to put more time into the Slay the Spire board game than the actual, like, video game 1.0. And some of that is justified. The board game is actually better. Like, not so much that if... Do I want to go for Splinter? Splinter sounds like it would be interesting. Go for Regeneration first, though. I don't want to make any dumb mistakes. Well, that's a new enemy. Oh, no, no, no. It's a regular enemy. Okay, rapid fire. Yeah, this is... Get some more out. Alright, this is kind of fun. I feel like... Oh, you know what I feel like? Ow. I feel like a nudibranch. Like the deep sea slug creatures with like the wings. That's what I feel like right now. Okay, there we go. Burst fire. I don't think we want burst fire. I think that would wreck me. Let's grab some absorption. Could maybe mess around with like a crash build, but I almost feel like it would... This is not a crash build. Okay. So force armor might not be a bad idea. Juggernaut for some extra durability. It's also not terrible. I'm going to go for a little bit of homing. I don't think we want too much. And yeah, we don't want thrust. I can't banish any of these. Okay, not too bad. And yeah, the homing is making this that much more deadly, because we have tons of projectiles just coming out. I think what we want to look into is a little bit of fire, if we can find it. I will grab homing spread, though. Because that gives me an extra type of projectile, and lets things zoom in. I could do convergence, more projectile. Yeah. Power reserves. Resistance and mobility reductions from firing a weapon. So I mean that one is good. I could also go for burst fire to try and get salvo. I don't know what that does with this one though. Yeah, we definitely don't want calibrate. Yeah, I'll pick it up. Admittedly, now I no longer look like the... I no longer look like a nudibranch. Now I just look like an octopus. Man, why have I never, ever used this ship before? This weapon. It's extremely good. Okay, let's stay away from that hell. Actually, stay away from things for a bit. Right, and I do not want to be behind this sucker. There we go. Shields are back. Oof. Shields were back. Yeah, thus continuing to confirm that the new bosses are extremely dangerous. My damage scales based on proximity to target. Oh, I'm dying. So I should be extremely careful. Part of my problem is figuring out where the hell I am in this process. And I don't know if being behind him is really safe. Maybe it is. It puts out projectiles behind it. Yeah, compared to the other T2 boss, this guy is so much more of a doozy. But that's fine. Okay, payload, snipe. I might as well grab snipe. More projectile weapon velocity means just hitting things 20% further away. Okay, and we want Candescence. Because we want to get access to Purification. No, Corrosion. Because that adds an additional burning stack to everything. And we're going to be stacking a hell of a lot of those. Just kind of by default for being around. And that effectively also adds some flat damage. There's some other weapons like Snipe where it's not nearly as good, but here we want it. Here it's amazing. Probably also want to look into flash shielding and Scorching Wake. Yes. So the reason why we want Scorching Wake is it just adds more to the pre-existing mess that I already am. Might also want to just add like a little bit of blast radius to my attacks. Ow. I should not be doing that too much. Let's see. Grandeur. We do not want Grandeur. Corrosion. We do. Okay, because now everything burns in my vicinity. Not for much, but like considering how much I'm just scorching them, that should stack up incredibly quickly. Especially on like larger enemies like bosses and whatnot. I just have to make take a lot of care to make sure I'm not putting myself in too much harm's way. Okay. So I can pretty functionally destroy all of them. Payload reduces my weapon fire rate, but is good. We have Purge, which isn't that good. I'm going to go for the shield cooldown. We desperately need that. This is a build that wins eventually. It's not an Alpha Striker. Going super hard on damage is going to help, but it's not going to help like... it's not going to help like a, say, Snipe build or some of my other ones where going just like absolutely nutters helps. Ooh, yes. Orb of Discord. I just want to be extremely dangerous to be around. This should work. Oh, yeah. There we go. Whoa. Oh, it's the crab. Okay. Problem is, it's extremely hard for me to see where I am or where I'm going. At least I've got kind of the crossbeam bar giving me a basic idea. More projectiles, volatile shields, force armor probably is actually going to be the most helpful because I'm going to be taking some crash damage here. Because the crab 100% is going to be crashing into me. Either the crab or his minions or both. This is a really bad time for me to have like the itchiest nose. Okay, I'm gonna do a trick here. If I can pull it off. Nope. Okay. B not there. You're just trying to avoid most of the salvos if I can. I love the fact that the crab just becomes Space Invaders. I think that's such a cool boss idea. I mean, like, yeah, it's Space Invaders. We've all seen it before. But, I don't know. It's fun to see old classics being acknowledged super aggressively. Okay. Avoid those. Boss is toast. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like how I really appreciate this game making Asteroids fun. That growing up, I played a bunch of Asteroids on my dad's computer when, like, we first got the computer. I was like, oh, Asteroids. Like, it's video game. Not even really knowing what a video game was, but it was just like, it was a thing that I could do. And that made it extremely cool, because it's like, I've never seen this before, done this before. Let's see, guidance. Maybe? Considering most of my other options aren't very good, I could re-roll, though. Yeah, let's go for some shield durability. But yeah, I remember putting a bunch of time into Asteroids. Not like to the point where I was good. I was 4. But it was one of those where I was like, yeah, it was kind of just incredible to have like this digital device that you could play a game on. This is like such a Gen X millennial thing. I'm sure younger kids probably had similar experiences, but like, oh, I think flash shielding is considerably more balanced now. It used to be a much larger reduction. Okay, we should not be there. Because the 25% cooldown, 25% maximum reduction, that feels very fair and balanced and easy to work with. I think it was originally closer to like 40%, and that did not feel good. I should maybe go back and give my like dumb shield build another go, just to see if I can pull that one off. Purge. No, that's not the one we're looking for. Payload. Payload is kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, we don't want rapid reconstruction. I should give some of my old builds another shot now that we're in 1.0. Just because. But, you know, despite the time that I put into Asteroids and the, like, impact it had on me back in the day, I didn't actually really enjoy it. I think it was one of those kind of things where it was like an exercise in frustration where I wanted to be good at it because it was, like, the only game we had that was, like, real. Everything else was just shareware, which meant that, like, you know, Cosmo would never make it to Disneyland. Where am I? I'm at the bottom. Okay, Phantom Strike I don't think is good. Let's grab the 10% blast radius. Just because that's going to be extremely good against multi-segmented enemies. And has no real downside. Boss time. Oh, it's the orb. Shoot. This is a really bad boss for me to be fighting with this setup. Maybe. I am actually feeling kind of in the zone right now. Nope. Shit. That hurt. I am dead. Oh, my shields came back. Sick. I hate this boss. There's no break, is the issue. I think this might actually be one of the first times I beat it, though. Okay. Oh. Hard to say, though. Okay. I got him. This is the first time I think I've ever beaten that boss. And if it's not the first, it's close to the first. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get Splinter Fire. It's not particularly amazing, but it means that all of my projectiles that hit then splinter into other projectiles that come back around, hopefully to hit again. And that can be quite good. But yeah, so didn't really actually enjoy Asteroids, and just like would never go back normally. But having a roguelike that very much captures what makes what made Asteroids neat, and then making it into like a fully fleshed out game that actually feels very good is extremely praiseworthy in my opinion. And will always just kind of remain one of those roguelikes that I will come back to, you know, every couple of months, every couple of years, and just be like, yeah, this is just a masterpiece. There's a couple of roguelikes that really do that. I mean, obviously, stuff like Slay the Spire kind of, I don't want to say, like, masterpiece. Well, I mean, it is, but, how would I describe it? Slay the Spire was a mostly original creation. Very much reminiscent of a lot of old-school deck builders, and, like, RPGs and stuff. Yeah, let's go for Mastery. That one's just good. And then, like, Balatro... I don't know. There's a couple of different classifications of, like, roguelikes. I think roguelikes all fall into the category of X-game, but rogue. You know, randomized, procedurally generated with more interesting build velocity than most. And, oh god, where am I in this process? This is where I start dying. It's like, after a certain point in a run, I just hit that stage where survival is predicated entirely on my ability to keep track of myself. And it gets tricky. I really want the final version, not Purge. Discharged. Let's see, hypermetabolism. I feel like 1 in hypermetabolism isn't terrible. But I'm curious if regeneration is health regen, or if that includes shield regeneration as well. Because I would certainly hope it includes shield regeneration as well. We just need that little bit of extra oomph, hopefully. What was I going to say about any of these things? I don't know. I guess Asteroids, Balatro. I'm mostly thinking of roguelikes that take pre-existing ideas and roguify them in a very good way. And like, Balatro is probably the most popular of them. I really wish Nova Drift was, but I can understand why it isn't to some degree. The control scheme is extremely niche. God damn it, not another one of these things. It's extremely niche to the point where most people that play it have kind of negative reactions the first time they play. I was included in this. I was actually really hoping this would become a twin stick game. But I'm kind of glad it isn't. Because the skill cap for this is... Well, maybe the skill floor. The skill floor is super low, which makes it feel like this skill cap is super high. Do I want Obsession? I do and I don't. I don't actually know if it helps me too much on this one. Do I want to grab Juggernaut? I think I do. I think we want to be bigger. Main reason being, we're going to be taking a bunch of crash damage regardless of what I want. And so being bigger and also a bit slower seems kind of prudent. Because I don't need to go fast. There's nothing really rushing me here. Let's just popcorn this guy from behind. Why is this build working as well as it is? Ooh, Glaucus. It's me, but big. Ow. Yeah, I'd like to invest a little bit more into my range if I can. But I don't know how doable that is. Yup. Yup. Let's not be there. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't scaled my damage up nearly as much as I think I'd like here. And this is why I invest in a bunch of crash damage resistance, because turns out it's extremely helpful. Okay, there goes my shields. But yeah, between my regen and the shield regen, we're actually in a very good spot to stay largely full health here. Or at least hale and hearty, more than I usually am. Okay, I don't know what it's doing. Big downer, I'm noticing. This sucker actually has plated armor. I don't know how much, but if you notice I'm doing a lot of zeros to this thing, my base damage is not big enough to hurt it. Oh, you know what? My base damage isn't big enough to hurt it. Outside of its weak points, maybe. There we go. Main thing is, Corrosion is MVPing. He is very on fire. Yeah, I was just really hoping I could scale up my projectile speed. Unfortunately, I've been scaling it down because a lot of the upgrades specifically do that. Nope, 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 nope. Don't hang out in a vortex. That'll kill ya. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Boss is toast. Okay, what wave are we on? Not a clue. Does it say? Record. Time elapsed. We've reached 101. Okay, cool. So actually we've reached quote-unquote the end, unless there's more now. I don't know. I don't know if I got this far in the 1.0 version. Let's see. What do we have? Singular Strike. This could kill me, but it could be really funny. I mean, considering we've functionally already won. Hit to your shield exceeds 25 damage reduced. I'd like barrier. Let's go for it. It's probably going to make a huge difference to my survivability. Just that flat cap on damage I can take. Yeah, I just have to make sure I can regen fast enough. Smoothly avoid that. Yeah, I was kind of talking about at the beginning of this video. I have some free time, and one of the things I'm going to be trying to do, you'll probably have already noticed this before this video even goes out, but this is kind of a soft pseudo announcement, me talking about the thing, is that I'm trying to stick to one video a day. Very much that seems to be the sweet spot that keeps my channel in a comfortable place. Not as much viewership as I used to get, but on the flip side, it's considerably less stressful for me. Let's see. Thrust and rotation. I do really like plating. Weapon recoil resistance, self-damage resistance. Like, that's good. Let's go for power reserves first, though, just to give me a little bit more control over myself. Actually, my projectiles do go pretty far. They just don't go fast. Which is nice. But yeah, because I'm doing only one video a day, if I can have these days where I record like 3-4 videos in a go, I could potentially have like almost a week's worth of videos in 2 days. And then any other recordings I do over the course of the rest of the week is just kind of gravy. Extra stuff that I get to keep in reserve for taking a day off taking a week off, you know, getting sick. I haven't gotten sick in 2 years? 2 years now. A year and a half. I got sick back when I was in... What the hell is this? This might actually be closer to the real ending. Okay. Freaking... Oh, I'm here now. Should I be here now? Oh, it has no collision? It has no collision. It's a giant centipede for reasons. Ow, ow. Crash damage and other things. Purification, extra burn damage, ignite damage. Hull and shields recovered for each ignited enemy up to 5. Okay, so it's not as amazing as I'd like, but it gives me some extra healing at the cost of only some damage. Why is there a giant centipede in the background? This feels... I mean, this is absolutely new. For me. Unfortunately... I got slapped. Got it. Unfortunately, that boss is always tricky for me to fight. I honestly wish there was actually more stuff like this weird centipede hello. Star Eater. Yeah, I actually wish there was more like superstructures and crazy things going on in the background. Okay, that hurts. Blessed be my massive regeneration. As it is making this easier. Ooh. Yeah, it's just not be there in front of it. Very much seems like a hangout by the side of this thing. I'm just gonna hang out. Oh, it's doing something else. Not sure what it was doing there. I don't like the cut of its current jib. I don't like the cut of its current jeb. Okay, where is it? What is it doing? Switching sides, looks like? Ooh, and this gets zappy. So we kind of want to stay away from some of those. 'Cause that could hurt. But I figure I can just kind of tickle him. Oh, this is a bad place to be. Very bad place to be. Once again, though, blessed be my very high regeneration. Making this considerably more doable. What a cool frickin' boss. Okay, stay away from the pot shots. Where am I? Oh no. Oh no. The problem is if I can't tell where I am or where I'm going, I end up in the doghouse. Damn it. Yeah, I don't think I should have gone for the thing. Well, there's a lot of things I shouldn't have done there. Hey, we've seen the final boss, though. Cripes. Okay, what do we do now? Different build for sure. I love the tutorial directions. It's so simple, but it works. Definitely propulsive munitions was a fun gaff. Terrible. Now what? I mean, salvo's not terrible. Don't think I've done a very good thermic lance build. There's blade. I haven't done a very good blade build. The problem with a good blade build is it really puts you in a bad spot. So yeah, let's do salvo. Okay. So we're looking for something kind of tanky. I'm actually thinking we go Reflect. Because I think we're going to want to go for the usual supercharge killer missiles. Let's see. Courser, Hull Breaker. Fire weapon, chance of being empowered. Improve fire rate, weapon spread, and projectile velocity. I think I'm actually going to go for research for now. It's going to give me the most amount of control over what my build's going to be, and then I'm going to switch at a later date. Probably. Next recursive wild mod you pick is gained an additional 3 times and then banished. I'm going to snag that. That's a rare one to come across, and there's a couple wild mods that I could see myself really enjoying kind of within that. Actually, there's a lot that are valid for picking with that one. Okay. Definitely not Rampage. Oh boy, no. Let's see. Shield cooldown, more projectiles. I don't actually remember how projectiles work with the missiles. Huh, that's Singularity. Oh, it's because the boss showed up. Can't have the Singularity completely skunk the boss. That would be, not kosher. Let's see. Anyway, just to finish the thing I was kind of trying to talk about a little bit, you're probably just going to notice a number of my videos being held in, like, members only for a while. I recognize that that's kind of like FOMO inducing, where it's like, no, you know, I want to see that video now. But it's like, I mean, it's $1. Hopefully that's not too much for people. I do really like Splinter. Because that gives us a bunch of extra micro missiles that home in on things, which is extremely fun in almost every circumstance. But that also gives me a reason to record like 3 or 4 Nova Drift videos kind of in quick succession. Just be like, yeah, I'm just going to spend an afternoon on Nova Drift. And as long as I'm not talking about anything like too time specific, that would be a fun one, but no. Let's see, efficiency. We absolutely want efficiency, because I think charging doesn't count as firing. Because we want to go for, like, charge and calibration, and just really wait until the perfect moment to unleash, probably. So Defiance was one of the ones I was thinking of. Weapon recoil resistance, self-damage resistance, resistance to mobility. That one's okay. I should probably banish some things. Oddly enough, I've never actually done this, but going for mines is not a bad idea. Let's banish propulsive munitions. Let's grab charged shot. Yeah, next up, we probably want to go for homing, just to give me some of that accuracy. Because, yeah, I do a boatload of damage with a charged shot. I don't remember if there's, like, an upper limit. Okay. Do we want payload? We do. There's stuff like antimatter rounds, which I could try. I've never messed with how that would even work with salvo. Because the ideal within it would be... There we go. The ideal within it is that we fire it off and it doesn't kill me. The main tricky bit is it absolutely possibly could. Okay. What do we want? I don't remember exactly how volley works. Does it determine how many missiles you get? I think, because I think we were scaling it up by 4 missiles per upgrade originally. We should definitely also start investing in like adaptive armor and some of the basic defensive things, as I am kind of glass cannoning at the moment, and that's not great. Okay, what was I gonna say? I don't know. The soft announcement for like, hey, yes, I'm going to have like a bunch of these videos just sitting around as members only for a while. It just makes my life easy. Okay, core shielding and dreadnought. Thing is, this should actually be a pretty good build for wrecking dreadnought. Maybe. The vulnerability over there. Unfortunately, not exactly a strong suit of this weapon. I don't know if I've gone for any like good defensive measures here, which actually is extremely tricky. This might be one of those that we just have to rely entirely on sheer damage. At least we got one of the two. Farsight. Actually, yes. Okay, so that increases the battlefield size by 28%. I do take an extra 8% damage. But this means I have so much more runway for my missiles to actually hit things. Okay, so what do we want to do next? Shield durability? Probably. Okay, that should be good enough. Prep up from behind. They came from behind. What is that from? It's like an old... maybe not that old. Old-ish thing. Snag that. And we'll probably want some blast radius. We just already have enough that I don't desperately need more. And the other thing I should keep an eye out for is we want to get plated armor. So we can get the thing that scales my attacks based on me taking damage. Let's grab 1 point in hypermetabolism. No more, no less. I'll probably banish future iterations of it. But it seemed to work out quite well for me last time. Probably. Improved thrusters, targeting. Boy, I need to remember to clear up my hard drives before I sit down and record, and oh gosh, I am hurt. Actually, no, this is fine. We're in a good enough position, at least for the moment. Yeah, it's more than enough damage. Oh. Yeah, because we hit like a truck. We just don't hit super consistently here. Let's see. Grab regeneration, absolutely. We are going to need that. I'd like flash shielding as well, if we can get our hands on that one. Now, I actually really like the idea of the reflection as a, like, as hopefully an anti-boss measure. Because that giant space centipede thing was dumping a lot of shots my direction, and if I can potentially repel them back at it for a bunch of damage, hopefully that's kind of an alternate means of demolishing him. Maybe. I'd also look into stuff like blink and whatnot, but I have such a hard time controlling that I'm not really sure if it's super viable. Okay. We'll grab this time. Blast radius is tempting. Think rapid fire is good. Okay. Toast as much as we can. Unfortunately, there's a lot of projectiles that reflect does not, in fact, reflect. So, limits us a little bit. Cover homing strike, absolutely. That's just more free missiles for no extra cost. Alright. Doesn't do too much damage. I don't know how much HP this sucker has. The problem is, yeah, we are definitely going to need the better homing abilities, convergence and whatnot. Just to make sure that most of my missiles are on target. I'm losing a lot of damage because the missiles are just flying off screen. Because we don't care about whether or not the missiles have slow velocity. Because they've got plenty of range by default. Okay, Revelation. Maybe. Should probably actually banish some of these. I'm going to banish drones. We're not going to use them. Blast radius is an option. Yeah. We want the hull. More hull, more survivability, and also puts me a little closer to getting what I'm looking for. Warpath. It's actually extremely good. What is this one on the right? When you are strafing, you fire your weapon with extra rate of fire. Huh. But can no longer manually fire your weapon. Yeah, do I want to try mines? I think so. This is going to sound a little silly, but having the mines, I love this boss's introduction. Just giant rock and crab. A hell of a lot of missiles. It feels so good. This should make this Space Invader segment extremely funny. Hopefully. At the very least, extremely loud. As everything just pops. There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep kind of chipping at things. Unfortunately, I gotta wait for my shields to come back before I can take too many risks. Did I get the boss? No, he's still here. I was like, nah, I don't think he's done yet. But did the Space Invaders just go away? I thought they'd, like, join him. But actually, there's kind of no reason for me to fight those apart from clearing out a section for myself to not get hit. Yeah, those reflected shots do oodles of damage. 231. I mean, to be fair, my missiles are doing about as much damage just on their own. So it's not something I want to, like, spec into super duper hard. Anyway, loaded mines. I think that's all I'm going to do with it. I just figure extra handful of base damage while I'm working on other things. I know there's a thing where you can toss the loaded mines. I've never tried it with, like, charge up. And I have no idea how it would work. Okay. I'm just gonna banish hypermetabolism. We've already picked that one up. We definitely want absorption. As the big super mod that I want to pick up is entirely reliant on that thing's existence. Because it's, like, the more damage you take while you're charging up, the bigger your missiles are. Or the bigger your attack is, which is extremely good for any and all, like, charge-related runs. And hopefully would let me go absolutely bananas with, like, big missiles. I'm really curious about trying Singular Strike with the rockets at some point. I feel like that could be very special. Minefield makes them come out faster. I mean, tempting. I'll have to try more mine-related builds. Because it feels like there's probably... I mean, I'm going to go for Mine Specialist. But it feels like there's probably some really fun mine-related builds that I haven't messed with yet. Like, obviously, the Salvo mines. Ow, okay, that hurts. Don't let them do that too much. Yeah, I was really expecting I'd be firing those a little bit more, but that's okay. Okay, what do we want to do now? So, construct max hull, construct assembly speed. So, this one's extremely good. But I think I'm going to go for shield cooldown. This whole me dabbling in space mines... like... it's more fun than functional. And I need to somewhat treat it as such, as opposed to this is the build. Probably. Kind of avoid those guys. Highly explosive, but not a problem. And yeah, the mines are working. It's just extra missiles, but I like extra missiles. I'm gonna banish Condescence. We're not doing fire. Rancor. While you're charging a weapon, damage dealt to you increases charge. Extra hull, weapon damage, plating, reduces thrust, slows me down even more. Boy, why is it always Crucible? At least I'm really slow, which actually makes Crucible weirdly easier. Okay. Yeah, because being slow against Crucible just means that I can more easily maneuver around his kind of nasty AoEs. Yeah, general goal is to make sure I'm full health. Okay, so far so good. Problem is, haven't actually hurt him too much. Such a pretty boss. Oops. He's going to be doing the ring things again. Oh, no, 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 no. None of that, you. Well, on the plus side, we picked up Rancor at a very good time. Because if there was a time to use Rancor, it is now. There we go. I wonder what the maximum charge level is. Because I usually do it entirely based on sound. And I've never actually looked into if there's a... if there's an upper limit or if it just keeps going with heavy diminishing returns. I suppose it doesn't matter too much. Singularity detected. Stay away from those. Don't let the space train get blown up, though, because I like that. Okay. Juggernaut. Do we grab Juggernaut? Yeah, crash damage resistance and some other things. Considering I'm going to get bonked into a lot, and also just that extra health is extremely good. Fortunately for me, I'm playing a hell of a lot of games recently that involve me pulling the right trigger, and I'm noticing that's getting to be a little hard on my fingers. Not that bad. But it is there. Gosh, I'm slow. But, I mean, that's kind of a good thing. Like, as long as I don't have to run away from too much, it gives me so much more, like, control over where I am and where I'm going and what my general plans are. Okay, Supermod Mastery. No, Guidance. Because Guidance actually is going to make it so all of my missiles, including the split-shot missiles, might actually reach what I'm shooting at. Let's not be there for that. I'd like to max out my shields, thank you. And yeah, let's not be in front of the giant scarab jerk. Yup. Guidance is a massive damage boost. Ideally, we also want to, like, double my projectile amount, just because it's going to make it so we charge up so much faster. Kind of. Yeah, we're fighting Seraph this time instead of... Oof. Okay, so downside on Seraph. I'm actually too slow to avoid a number of those hits. So I'm gonna have to hide from him for a while. Oof. Okay. So far so good. At least I've got very good regen. Exceptionally good regen. Okay, and he's doing the chargy thing. But that's fine. Get rid of his little goons. Hurts. But I think I'm gonna kill him before he becomes actively threatening to me. Yeah, hypermetabolism is actually extremely good. I will have to keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay. Doubles base weapon projectiles. Here. Okay, so now we're going up by, what, 11 missiles per tick? Which means I'm able to charge so many more missiles simultaneously. And if we can get convergence, we get even more homing, which makes things even more aggressive and also gives me even more projectiles. Does really make me wonder if I went singular strike, what would happen. I'd probably end up with like turbo torpedoes. I just don't know if the damage would scale as much as I'd like. Yeah, I'd like to go back to leveling my landmines if I can. I think we're going to want some durability first, though. Because, yeah, we don't even have flash shielding. We've been getting by without, like, extremely well. But I still think snagging it would be very much within order. This is a very fun build. Kind of brain off. Mostly just worry about avoiding attacks. We should probably look into actually increasing my thrust just a little bit. If we can. Elegant construction. Like, force armor actually wouldn't be terrible. Where the hell is oh, calibrates under the snipe tree. Because, yeah, calibrate is one of the other things that would actually be extremely helpful on this build. Probably. Probably. Alright. Now, I think the last time... Oh, no. He's just here. Alright. Well, that sucks. Stupid asteroid cluster is making it impossible to get over there. This is why I should probably invest in a force armor, but whatever. It feels like we're doing a shit ton of damage to this guy. Okay, that hurt. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to be too close. There we go. It feels like I've done more damage to it now. And yeah, the more it spreads out like this, hopefully... Okay. The more it spreads out like this, hopefully the more... my missiles can just kind of ricochet between its parts. It'd be easier if I was between it, but I don't think I'm that bold. But I've done a shit ton of damage to it, so who knows? This is where I died last time. Damn it. I was so close. Look at it, a sliver left. Alas. Yeah, I couldn't kill the one mob enemy that was harassing me, so I tried to hide next to the boss and he started wiggling back and forth, and that was a mistake. It's fine. For the second time I fought that guy, almost beating him is probably good. And also, I don't feel like that build was fully realized. It still needed some ways to go. But it's fine. I had a good time with this, and I look forward to playing more of it at some point. but for now at least. I guess I might as well mention once again, as always, Nova Drift is available on Steam. I think it might be on consoles now too. Legitimately one of the best games I think I've ever played, just in terms of its like sheer amount of build variety, the different options available, so much horizontal progression, and like the lovely visuals and music to go along with it all. And like, it's legitimately hard. This game feels like a modern arcade game, or at least what I would imagine arcade games would be like if they actually kind of made a resurgence. Frankly, if we ever do see arcades come back, I feel like Nova Drift needs to become a must. Even if it's unlikely to ever happen, it's just so much easier to play video games at home. But like a Nova Drift cabinet, or a cabinet with Nova Drift on it, would be such a perfect conclusion. Anyway, I guess with all of that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.